Hi, this is Regina White Favors coming to you with Rebound Relationship Special Topics. This is part of my Life Rebound and Recovery series where I explore particular trending topics and also just everyday relationship topics. Take some time to listen to this audio discussion, maybe gain some insight. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I will respond. Also, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification button if you're interested in further topics. This is Rebound Relationship Special Topics. Thank you very much for visiting the channel. What is relationship failure? We may have our own particular understanding about it, but it is essentially there are 4 types of relationship failure from what I've just been able to just understand from my own previous relationships, and also from just what I see sometimes on reality TV shows. Sometimes I will look at some YouTube videos. I have read a lot of journal articles, and so I just came up with my 4 types. The 4 types that I think they are in terms of how they relate to relationship failure. 1, when the goal and outcome are different. Each of us have goals in a relationship, and this is where there is always an issue between a man and a woman, or partner to partner, that you may have a goal to be in a relationship, but the other person may not have a goal to be in a relationship. Because then why should there be a relationship failure? And even if a person married you, they still may come to the marriage still with a different goal. I have heard women, describe other women that men married as come up women. Like that man who wasn't really known everywhere but became a celebrity or something like that. The woman that he was married to before was a come up woman, and then once he got big and once he did better, or once she got big and once she did better, she left him behind, or he left her behind, right? And so then the outcome is relationship failure, and now you're sitting back thinking, what exactly happened? It always begins with the goal. What was the initial goal? That you can, like I said, you can have different goals in mind. He didn't see the purpose of the relationship as a relationship. He saw the purpose of the relationship as something to do until the relationship he really wanted came along, or he was able to return to it. So the goal and outcome are different. When infidelity leads to relationship termination, I have learned in my own past experiences with an ex who cheated on me that cheating means exit. It means exit. So infidelity is much more advanced than just that one cheating moment. And I've noted to myself and thought to myself, you can't leave everybody. I mean, if not everybody you got with cheated on you, are you going to leave everybody? I mean, that's chaos in itself. But cheating should be, or could be, a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker for me. When you get to infidelity, that is a much more advanced long-term situation that the person has moved from cheating to now just a string of infidelities. Well, that tells me the person is not interested in changing. See, the one cheating moment could have been a lapse in judgment, right? And again, I think cheating is not something that you just fall into. I think you have to really imagine the thing first before you actually do it. So that means you give time to a lot of the fantasizing about it just before you cheat. It's very opportunistic, right? You know not to go to a woman's house knowing that it will make you vulnerable if you went to her house and she started kissing on you or something like that, right? She wouldn't pull that at the job. So if she's not going to pull it at the job, that tells you something, that she's trying to pull it somewhere else to make sure you can fall for her, right? But when you get to infidelity, womanizing, all of those, that's a state of mind. That's a lifestyle. That person believes that cheating is the solution to all of his or her problems. So that means you have to gauge whether or not you want to continue in that kind of relationship. Because once it moves from the first and they have not addressed it and stopped it and sought counseling and therapy for it, you can expect for it to happen again. When mate preference affects willingness to stay or exit. So mate preference, many people, I know men tend to rate women on a scale of 1 to 10. And so anyone who does not look like a 9 or a 10, or especially a 10, which they call a dime piece, you are automatically a 7 or 8. That's just the way they think. And then they will put up with you, tolerate you at a 7 or 8 status until the 9 or 10 becomes available. So mate preference can affect a person to stay with you for a minute, but it can also affect them or contribute to the reasons why they actually exit. And I've always heard women say and men say that they are always looking for an upgrade. So even if you are a 9, a 7 or 8, a 9 or 10, men are always still looking for even the top 10, right? The top 10, and then the top 10 people. 10 best women, right? So if they're always looking for an upgrade, you need a man who's going to he needs to be happy with himself. He needs to have security in himself, so that whoever he's with, he feels safe in that relationship, but he also feels secure in that relationship. Then the last one is when needs are not met by either party. And maybe by this time, by time in the relationship, they're just very tired. They don't, they have undergone relationship issues and problems, resolved them, overcame them, some infidelity issues. But then there comes a time when they just get tired. Needs can be anything. It can be companionship needs. It can be, financial needs. It can be any type of need that either party thinks is, significant for a relationship. And if you're not meeting those needs, then it's much easier for them to exit the relationship. So those are my 4 types of relationship failure. If you have other types of relationship failure, please write in the comment section. I will be happy to read them and then also comment. Okay. So when you get to a point where your relationship fails, is usually because you lack the tools of exit. The relationship died a long time ago, but you haven't really concluded the relationship because you are maybe hoping emotionally for it to return. And there is a reason why the word exit exists. There's a reason why we have exit doors. There's a reason why we have doors that close and remain closed. That when a relationship has died a long time ago, you have to have the courage to say, this relationship is no longer working and there's nothing really that I can do to make it work, because the other party is not interested in making it work. I wonder sometimes if that's the reason why there are many abusive situations, domestic violence situation, because one party doesn't want to accept the fact that the relationship is either not a relationship truly, or it has never been a relationship, or is no longer a relationship at all. And so some relationships die during the dating phase. Some relationships die during the courting phase. Some relationships honestly die right there at the marital stage, right when you are saying your I do's. And a lot of times you are saying your I do's because you don't want to be embarrassed and tell people that you actually have a failing relationship. So think about this in terms of your own past relationships, how you were trying to hold on to something that was no longer working, and how much it had affected your own psyche. So dealing with the relationship failure, you lack the tools of grief, and we all know what the 5 stages of grief are. So the relationship died without you grieving the process, meaning essentially you sought out a rebound. As soon as your relationship was either on a break or it was completely broken up, there was no indication that you guys were going to return to a relationship. You immediately sought out someone to fill that wound, to pack it, to help you where you hurt. And you didn't go through the grieving process. And the grieving process is essentially the 5 stages of grief, which is your denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And for all these 5 stages, it's really about you being alone. It's not so much that you always have to accept the breakup, because the breakup is actually clear. The truth of the matter is you don't want to be alone. That's why you go and seek out a crutch. So the denial and the anger and the bargaining and the depression and the acceptance is you struggling with the idea of being alone. You are in denial about it. You are angry about it. You're bargaining about it. That's why you go back and forth to the ex, trying to appeal to the ex to come back and let us get back together. You may enter a either shorter term or long term depression over it, and then it takes you years to accept it, if you actually accept it. Because as long as you are in another relationship, it's rare that you are going to actually accept the fact that you are broken up, because as long as you are in something, you're not really broken up from something. And so think about this, that you lack the tools of grief, and the way that you get tools of grief is basically read. You find some journal articles, or you find some quick read articles that you can get on how to overcome a relationship, how to overcome a breakup, what to do, how to move beyond the pain, how to self-improve, things like that. And that would help you through the 5 stages of grief. So dealing with relationship failure, you lack the tools of follow through. And follow through is when the relationship died without resolution. So sometimes when we are mad at our partners, we will go our separate ways, not talk to them, not return calls, things like that. But the follow through that is required is you contacting them and having that conversation, whether it's a conversation that's actually going to return you to a relationship, or a conversation where you two may end the relationship. No matter what, you need follow through. You need to finish it. And if you don't have follow through, you will find this in other areas of your life where you struggle as well. And so the problem that you have is that the two of you are not speaking. Well, that needs resolution in some form or matter. That needs resolution. So the relationship died without resolution. Dealing with relationship failure, so you lack the tools of foresight, and that is when the relationship died because of lack of agency. Foresight in this context means that you understand that your partner never really wanted you. The person put on a good act in the relationship and made you think that, and plus you fooled yourself into believing, or you deluded yourself into believing that you actually had a relationship, or that it was actually growing and developing. But foresight would have told you that I got this person when this person wasn't ready, or I got this person when this person was already involved with someone else, or I got this person when this person was already separated from his wife and not fully divorced. And that when you do that and you rush to get a relationship and you are hasty, that the foresight would have told you that it's not going to work out. You can never take something that doesn't belong to you and expect to keep it. You can keep something. A woman who takes a man from another woman, and you really don't take a man. I mean, he leaves willingly, but I'm just saying in terms of those types of examples, they can be married to that person for 20 years and somehow out of nowhere that person will leave. You never get to keep that. You never keep anything that you have stolen. And so anytime the foresight would have told you, having foresight, having agency would have helped you to understand that there are some decisions that you will never be able to recover from because you got that situation hastily or you got it in the wrong manner. So you lack the tools of foresight that you could have prevented the relationship failure, because there is such a thing as preventing something, that you could have prevented that had you not. And only you can really fill in that space. Had you not done this or had you not done that. So dealing with relationship failure, you lack the tools of knowledge, and basically the relationship died because of ignorance. So, many people will stay in relationships simply just to stay in them. They don't want to be out of a relationship. And so the one that they have right now is the one that works for them, even if it's no longer really working. And the ignorance aspect of it can be willful ignorance, or it can be true ignorance. Like I said at the beginning of this audio, I didn't know that my ex-partner was married to someone, and he claimed that he didn't know that he was married to someone, but he was married to someone, two people, then he was engaged to another person while he was trying to be engaged to me too at the same time. And even though I asked a lot of questions, there might have been a time I should have asked specific questions. There is when you hear a man say, or your boyfriend say about his partner, we're not together, that's not actually saying that they are divorced. That's not even actually saying that they are separated. They're just basically saying we're not together. Okay, that's not enough information. You got to keep pushing. And if they are unwilling to tell you what that information is, then that is something that you need to decide. I cannot be in this relationship because I don't have all of the facts. But if the person still, is determined to continue to act like that, without telling you information, and you remain in the relationship, then you are willfully being ignorant of the situation. So you lack the tools of knowledge. The way you find that out is, again, by researching these types of issues. You got a whole lot of videos on YouTube about, what you can do. You have all types of self-help books out there, self-help tips. You just have to figure out the keyword search that works best for you to find out the information that is best for you. So the relationship died because of ignorance. All right, so hopefully you were able to gain insight from this video discussion. Please like, subscribe, and visit. So please like the video, hit the notification bell for more discussions. I am re-uploading all of my audios, so I needed to make some changes to them. You can visit my website for more content at reginayfavors.com. If you want to send me an email, you can send an email, reginayfavors@yahoo.com. Please also purchase the book. It's going to come out in spring 2021. So I had to make changes to my book to update it, and I also updated the title. So the original title was Bait, Hook, and Switch: Confessions of a Rebound Girl, and I have updated the title to Toxic Encounters: Why People Pursue Rebound Relationships. So right now I'm still basically editing it, and I want to make it available in spring 2021. So thank you very much for visiting my channel, and I am Regina Y. Favors. Have a great day.